Rapture talk, the day thousands of Christians believed would be their last on earth, and why some actually quit everything. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning convinced it would be your final day on earth. What would you do? For thousands of Christians across social media, this wasn't a hypothetical question. It was their reality on Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025. In recent days, TikTok has been absolutely flooded with videos from believers who were completely convinced that today would mark the end of the world as we know it. This digital movement, now famously called Rapture talk, represents a fascinating corner of social media where devout Christians have been eagerly awaiting the rapture, a fundamental Christian belief that describes the moment when faithful believers, both living and deceased, will be miraculously lifted into the heavens to meet Jesus Christ. But here's where it gets controversial. The phenomenon spread so rapidly and intensely that real people made life-altering decisions based on these predictions. We're talking about believers actually selling their vehicles, walking away from their careers, and completely upending their lives because they genuinely expected to be swept up to heaven today. The specific date wasn't chosen randomly. It originated from Joshua Mhlakela, a South African pastor who boldly claims he experienced a divine vision of Jesus Christ. According to Mhlakela, this prophetic encounter revealed that the rapture would coincide with Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year celebration. During a revealing interview with Setwinds TV, Mhlakela delivered his warning with absolute conviction. The rapture is upon us, whether you are ready or not. I witnessed Jesus sitting on his throne, and I could hear him speaking with crystal clarity, declaring, I am coming soon. Interestingly, Mhlakela provided himself with a slight buffer zone, explaining that the divine event would unfold on the 23rd and 24th of September, 2025. When pressed about his level of certainty, the pastor didn't hesitate. He claimed to be 1,000,000,000% sure. As this digital wildfire began spreading beyond TikTok and into mainstream internet culture, content creators started developing practical instruction guides. Yes, you read that correctly. Actual tutorials on proper rapture etiquette. These videos ranged from serious spiritual preparation to detailed behavioral recommendations for the moment of ascension. One particularly memorable TikTok featured a woman offering step-by-step advice. When you begin ascending into the air, my strong recommendation is to avoid grabbing onto any objects. I absolutely advise against looking downward. Simply remain composed. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly, and maintain your gaze toward the heavens. And this is the part most people miss. While believers were preparing for their heavenly departure, the internet's response was anything but reverent. The rapture prediction quickly became fertile ground for mockery and satirical content. Social media users began joking about the potential benefits of mass Christian disappearance, cheaper rent prices, abandoned belongings up for grabs, and suddenly available job positions. One particularly witty X-user, @JaggedAuthor, captured the mood perfectly. Look, if nothing else, the rapture might make rent affordable again for those of us left behind. Some users expressed genuine disappointment about the timing, lamenting that the end of the world was scheduled before their next paycheck arrived. At least let's eat our salaries first. It's the Christian way of doing things, complained one frustrated X-user. The numbers tell an incredible story. As of this morning, TikTok hosts over 395,000 posts containing the word rapture. This massive digital footprint has generated countless humorous sketches, personal stories, and creative content as internet users embraced the doomsday anticipation for entertainment purposes. But here's where the situation becomes genuinely serious. Despite the widespread internet humor, actual people around the globe took Mhlakela's prophecy to heart. According to reports from digital content platform Lad Bible, the real-world consequences have been substantial. Believers have liquidated their vehicles, abandoned their employment, and one woman even transferred ownership of her house to someone else. Some devoted followers have been wrestling with practical concerns, including whether their beloved pets would qualify for heavenly transportation. The dedication to these beliefs has reached levels that many find both touching and deeply concerning. One particularly creative #Rapture Talk video showcased two individuals laughing hysterically while displaying text that read, "I am so petty, I am going to lay out a couple of outfits in my driveway on September 23rd, so when my neighbor walks his dog, he will think me and my dog made it to heaven for the rapture, and they didn't." Pastor Mhlakela's apocalyptic announcement joins an extensive historical catalog of end-times predictions, including the recurring narrative about a mysterious planet called Nibiru, supposedly destined to collide with or pass dangerously close to Earth, resulting in worldwide devastation. NASA has consistently and thoroughly debunked these claims through scientific evidence. The rapture discussion even penetrated Facebook groups dedicated to Christian ministry, including people who like John Hagee, Matt Hagee Ministries Cornerstone Church, where curious members inquired about the legitimacy of the predicted biblical end times. However, group members quickly dismissed these concerns by referencing Matthew 24:36, which explicitly states, "But about that day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father." This biblical verse directly contradicts any human ability to predict the exact timing of such divine events. Despite this clear scriptural contradiction, the existence of this biblical passage hasn't prevented people from frantically searching Google for answers or comfort. Search queries related to topics like, "Is the rapture happening tomorrow?" and "Why are people saying the rapture is tomorrow?" have experienced increases exceeding 5,000%. Dr. Deborah Kissin, founder and CEO of Light on Anxiety Treatment Centers, offers fascinating psychological insight into why apocalyptic predictions consistently emerge during periods of social turmoil, economic uncertainty, or global crisis. According to Dr. Kissin, having a definitive date for when life as we currently understand it will conclude provides what psychologists call cognitive closure, essentially a return to certainty, predictability, and a sense of personal control over both individual and worldwide events. Anxiety is fundamentally woven into the human experience, explains Dr. Kissin. We are the only species that possesses conscious awareness of our own mortality and the inevitable death of our loved ones. The concept of worldwide apocalypse has become a dominant theme in entertainment media, with numerous blockbuster films like War of the Worlds, The Day After Tomorrow, and 28 Days Later exploring various end-time scenarios. Many of these productions focus on non-religious catastrophes, such as alien invasions or deadly pandemic outbreaks, while others like Left Behind, The Seventh Sign, and Legion specifically examine religious interpretations of the end of days. According to the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association, Christian theology describes Jesus Christ's second coming as occurring in two distinct phases, beginning with the rapture. During this initial phase, Jesus is believed to come for believers both living and dead, as detailed in the book of Thessalonians. The rapture is theoretically supposed to be secret, remaining unknown to the world of unbelievers at the time of its occurrence. So here's the ultimate question that's dividing people. If this prediction were actually true, and some of your most devout coworkers mysteriously failed to return to the office after their lunch break today, you would know exactly where they went, and it definitely wouldn't be back home. But let's be honest, doesn't this whole phenomenon raise uncomfortable questions about the intersection of faith, social media influence, and real-world consequences? When does religious devotion cross the line into potentially harmful behavior? And what does it say about our society that thousands of people are more willing to trust a pastor's vision than established theological doctrine? What's your take on this? Do you think these believers are demonstrating admirable faith, or have they been misled by false prophecy? Should social media platforms take any responsibility when religious predictions inspire people to make drastic life changes? Share your thoughts, whether you're a believer, skeptic, or somewhere in between. This conversation affects all of us.